Okay, perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay. Well, welcome everybody. And welcome to a hopefully invigorating and inspiring hour on Empower Yourself with NLP. I'm Dr. Doris, and you are so very welcome. I have been in NLP for 35 years. I'm a corporate trainer since 1990 using mainly applied NLP. And I'm a master coach helping people since 35 years, right after my doctorate degree in naturopathy, helping people. So I was spending 12 years of my life with psychotherapy and psychology. And then I had lots of, can you see me? I like to move around a little bit. And then I basically had lots of, I've done lots of studies and basically really always wanted to know what makes someone be motivated and what makes someone tick and what makes someone be successful. Because see, we all are lousy in one area of life, don't you know it? And then we are mediocre in another area of life. And then we are fantastic. I think you may have to turn the microphone off when you have in the background. Thank you. You can keep your camera on, but your microphone may be off. And so, I found most of the answers. And meanwhile, I have helped more than 100,000 people. And I have done many trainings in corporates for so many years. And I certified people in emotional intelligence, in NLP, and I mainly also certified trainers. I offer trainer training, 12 days, and you can become a trainer with me. I offer NLP master training. You can become an NLP master. And today we are going to talk about NLP. I'll give you an introduction into NLP, and I'll also take the liberty, like Illumination seminar mostly are, to introduce you into the upcoming training, which is the seminar. Sonali?
Yes, yes.
Do you mind to turn off your microphone? There's so much noise going on in the background and we all hear it.
Ah, sorry.
Thank you. Yes, please keep your video on, just the microphone.
Okay, now it's, yeah.
Is it off? Yeah, good, good. So you can keep doing what you do. So
yeah, so we're just getting some coffee.
Seminar coming on the 8th and 9th of May. And after we spend this hour together and have some experiences together, I will be available for whoever is interested to learn more with NLP. I'll be questions and I'll give you attention. Okay, everybody ready?
Yes.
Let's welcome Andrea. Andrea Leitman. Andrea, would you be so kind and please turn on your video? For this training, we turn on the microphone. We turn it off if it creates a disturbance. We keep our video on for the best interaction quality. That's part of how I work, and that's part of what we ask for you, as we are offering you a free session.
Brilliant.
And we are interacting. If you have a headset, it will help you. Andrea, are you there? Hi, Andrea. Could you turn on your video, please?
One sec.
Thank you. Bist du Deutsch?
No, unfortunately, it's only my
Andrea,
name is very German, but I don't speak German.
Okay, where are you from?
I'm from Hungary.
Ah, okay, okay. So you are so very welcome. And you just called me before I tell my story. So NLP is there to empower you with self-development, with creating and maintaining change, with helping you to prevent conflict, to improve communication and relationships. And it's, of course, very amazing, not only in persuasion and motivation, but in behavior modification and behavior change. So before I begin here today, I would like to just quickly know where you are at, as the group is so very small tonight, so I can best address you. So may I see hands? So first we make sounds here as we can cheer together. And then if you could give me hands to communicate. So who already knows something about NLP besides Sonali? Can I see hands? Okay, Andrea, have you studied? Like, have you done a whole course?
No, I just made it by my own interest. I bought a very little book. I can even show you what I have. Like a 5-minute NLP, and I was just trying to go through a few.
Okay. Yes,
so I'm just a very beginner at this matter. So, but I found it very fascinating and interesting. And I really want to learn a bit more about how I can apply and implement that on my daily communication, daily routine. And I found it very useful.
Great. And Deborah, do you have any pre-knowledge of NLP?
I have heard of it and I know a little about it, but very much like Andrea, very much a beginner. But as part of an appraisal system at work, it was recommended that doing something around mindfulness as well as NLP might be beneficial for me. So that's why I've signed up today.
Are you from England?
Yes, I am, but I live in Dubai.
You live in Dubai. May I know what is your professional field?
I'm a manager of a nursery school.
Ah, okay. I was hitting on HR.
No.
Manager of nursery. Komal, thank you. And you? Have you heard anything about NLP yet? Can you turn your microphone on?
Yes, I have heard about NLP, and I know it's something to do with self-development. And so I've signed up to know more about it, and I have no clue.
Okay, super.
Yes.
Good. All right. So, very good. So basically, everybody who wants to excel eventually does NLP. Successful people like Tony Robbins, Oprah Winfrey, Phil Jackson, and many of our presidents and political people have used NLP to help their own success. And Neuro-Linguistic Programming, it basically means that the way we think, which is more or less the N, and then the way we talk to ourselves and to others, and then the way what happens through that is what NLP means. So basically you can imagine the N means the thinking, what we all think. Then humans have an alphabet and humans have language. That's why we have a digital cortex. And through the language we talk to ourselves, we talk to others. And the way we talk to ourselves and we talk to others creates patterns. And these patterns are called results. They are the behaviors. You could also say they are programs. And so NLP correctly says that we are run by our programs. Back to what I said earlier, there are no areas where we are, so to speak, lousy, where we don't function so well, where we have our hiccups, we don't know so much. So what is the patterning behind that? Sometimes it's something we want to change, sometimes it's not even something to change. Then there's areas where we are brilliant. So we know in the areas where we are brilliant already so many things that we do and how we do them. And not even only that, NLP is a model of models. It is modeled by people who were excellent at what they were doing. Virginia Satir, Fritz Perls, Milton Erickson were people who NLP modeled in order to actually create the wonderful, wonderful techniques, strategies, and concepts that we have. So it was created in the 70s by Richard Bandler and John Grinder and Christina Hall. And I am one senior trainer right below them. I know most of the originators in NLP. And when you see on the slide there, this logo, can you see it? On my NLP slide, there is on the right side up there a logo, like a banner, and it says NLP. So if you want to know what is the original NLP, where NLP was originally created and how it was meant to be, it was in the 70s in California. And the Society of NLP has this kind of logo. Only trainers who are trained through the society are able to use this logo. I am not only a trainer, but a master trainer with 35 years of experience, and there's only 7 of me in the world. So the level that I have reached in NLP is basically the most superb level. And I believe Illuminations has chosen me to teach NLP there because I not only am a senior trainer and very versed, but I also offer you the certifications through both the Society of NLP and also ABNLP, which is another of the very old original NLP schools. Because see, in the original days, a practitioner training took 18 days. Most of the years of my life in the USA, I have trained 18-day practitioner trainings and 20-day master trainings. And nowadays, practitioner trainings are 5 days. So basically, through the speed of the world, everything has been changed, shortcutted. But if you have someone who knows the original and everything will be arranged around it and you will learn it in a proper way. So I want to tell you just a little story, and the story has to do with being introduced into NLP and when I heard the word for the first time. And it was as a young naturopathic doctor when I got the chance to study with the most well-known acupuncturist in Berlin. His name was Dr. Quartz. And he asked me to simply study, listen, and only listen for many months. So he asked me that I would be in this chair, that was the chair between the patient and him. And it was a very challenging device for me because I was always an active person. I was always somebody who rather walks around than just sits down. And already when he said, Dr. Doris, You have to just listen and wait and listen and wait, and later in the day or once in a week, I will sit down with you and explain everything. It was a torture to some degree, but at the same time, it was such a device. It was from 83 to 87. In 87, I then changed my career. So from 83 to 87, only 1 year I was with him, I got in these 3 months in this chair, 8 hours a day to see what the client says and how the client communicates, and then what the doctor said and how the doctor communicated. And as we are a little bit talking about empower yourself with NLP, but we are also talking about communication excellence today, I chose this example because this is what happened. Karen came to us because she was heavily overweight and she took acupuncture to help herself and to have some successes. And as she came every week, she would typically move like this, like slouching down, and she would say, "It's so hard, it's so hard." And then she would sit and then look down. And the doctor was communicating in a way that he had his bifocals and he would write down all these questions that are needed for Chinese medicine. When did you get up? What did you do in the morning? What was your temperature? How many times did you go to the bathroom? Hundreds of questions. And so while he was asking the questions, Karen would just go down a little more, breathe less a little more, look down a little more. And so the doctor asked her, "Did you take your Chinese herbs?" And Karen said, "Yes, doctor, I did." And then he asked her, "And how is the diet going?" And Karen said, "Oh, it's going well, but at night the fridge calls me." And doctor, I never forget, with his bifocals, was writing down her answers, and then he was looking up to her. And Sonal, I'm so sorry, but I think there's still a lot of noise coming from you. Would you mind to turn off the microphone?
Yeah, sure, but they...
Yeah, stay with your video so that you can be part of this. I'm just concerned of the others being disturbed. Sorry.
Yeah. But there is nothing going on in the background.
Is anybody else having this background noise going on? Pia, do you need to turn off your mic? Okay, now it's good. And so
yes, there is a background noise.
Mhm. And so the doctor looked at her and said, "In the night, the fridge calls you? I mean, that doesn't make any sense. Just take a glass of water." And he would again look down. He never even looked at her. And when this happened in the interaction between the patient and the doctor, it made me feel so very sad. Very sad, because I was very empathetic with Karen. I accompanied her every time when she came to the lessons. And so finally, I think I'm gonna
Sorry, I'm charging my mobile.
So what you can do is, I forgot to say that at the beginning, if you turn off your mic, Sonal, not your video, just turn off your microphone, it's on the bottom, then we don't have to hear your noise. Thank you. And so it made me so very passionate to understand what is going on. because she looked even more sad. She was even more down. She was obviously feeling worse. So luckily on that day, I got to get her off the acupuncture bed, and the doctor was already leaving. From time to time, I was closing the clinic. So we were the last ones, and I got a little time to speak to her, and this yearning in my heart to speak to her was so very big. And I asked her, Karen, do you really believe that you can be successful with this treatment? And she said, my mom was obese and my grandmother was obese. And I said to myself, she does not really believe in the success. However, how paradoxical, and isn't it often the case? We want something, and then at the same time, it's as if we are self-sabotaging ourselves. We are not really believing in it, or we are not really going for it. So I asked Karen, what makes you come here every week? Because I knew there must be something in her that motivates her to come every week. One moment. And so she said, she told me something about a godly voice. At the moment that she spoke about this godly voice, her eyes blinked, she radiated, she was just like in a different dimension. At that time, I have not even heard the word NLP yet. I was just led by the passion of my heart. I wanted to help this woman to believe. I wanted to help, oh, I forgot to say, the success was very little. She took the treatment, she came, but really her weight was not going down. So I said to her, Karen, how would it be if you link up with this godly voice, and would you please make for me a picture inside of you seeing yourself with 30 pounds less? The doctor had a goal of 30 pounds less. See, I think that's much too much when you treat someone or when you work with someone. So Karen, look at this. Karen looked up to the right. She turned her eyes up to the right. In NLP later, we learn that it means to make a picture. Whenever the eyes go up to the right, we make a picture in our head. She looked up to the right, and then she said, oh, I never thought about it in that way. I see, she said, it would make me feel so much better. I think I can do this. And she walked off. I showed you how she walked, you know, slouching and hunking down. And she walked off, not like totally erected, but she walked off a little easier with a little nicer move, and she wasn't also laughing, like smiling. She always had this rather kind of down mood, but she had rosy cheeks and the corners of her lips were going up. This incredible change happened, and I did not even know what I did. I only knew, wow, there is a change that has happened inside of Karen. And I have helped her in a way that I believed was quite powerful. Now, The doctor was a genius. I'm not speaking against Dr. Quartz. He was 20 years in China. He was the top of acupuncture. Now, the next time when Karen came, similar situation, I brought her to the, after the end of the session, to the clinic door saying goodbye to her, and she shook my hand. And she looked in my eyes and she said, the doctor is a genius, but you, young doctor, with your words, you helped me believe. I have such an easier time with my diet now. And she shook my hand and we left. And she left. I also left. But then the most wonderful ending of this little story, which all leads up to empower yourself with NLP, was that the doctor at some time spoke to me. He took me by the side, you know, when we had our weekly meetings, and he would say, now, Dr. Doris, what did you do with Karen? Because she changed. She lost more weight and her attitude is so very different. It was so funny because he thought that I was such an eager doctor that I would go in the back room and use the needles and do neurotherapy or, you know, do all kinds of naturopathic tricks. But when he asked me, Dr. Doris, what did you do? Karen is different. I remembered, I thought about, I didn't do anything. I said to myself, I didn't really do anything, but I did. And so I heard myself saying to Dr. Quartz, you know, I communicated with her in a way that she could believe and in a way that she could empower herself. And doctor, of course, you know, again with his bifocals, he would look at me and he would just go, shake his head and kind of not believe or not value. He was very old and kind of from the old school. He wouldn't think about that mind affects emotions. He was a naturopathic doctor, but he didn't really believe that the way we talk to ourselves directly affects the success of healing. So now let me give you one more ending of the story and then we go into a little exercise. So here for 3 months, I was in this position. Here was the patient and here was the doctor. For 3 months, I listened. I heard one story after the other story. I heard this patient mourning, suffering, kidney, stomach, liver, digestive problems, nervous problems, all kinds of problems. People came to our clinic. And I heard how the doctor asked the question and then did his elicitation on which Chinese herbal pills and which acupuncture treatments he would have to give. But I learned something very different. And I learned something amazing. What I learned was, how does the patient talk about their illness? How do they talk about the treatment and their progress and their steps? And then, of course, how does the doctor answer? Without judging Dr. Quartz, I just every day increased my passion and my desire to be able to help people believe, to be able to help people think differently. And one thing I saw already, I was 23 years old, as a very young doctor, what I saw was that the patient who would have negative thoughts, who would come in and they had, oh, I don't know, I can do this, it's very hard, and they would have this kind of language, and deliberately, regularly, you would know their healing takes longer. You would know that everything they did was more difficult. Whereas patients who would say, I can do it, everything is cool. Yes, I follow the diet. Yes, I follow the medicines. Yes, it's going to be all right. Those patients always healed better and were more successful. So I am telling you this to open the session here today about empower yourself with NLP. Because NLP helps us to understand that the way we talk to ourselves and the way we believe things is directly linked to what we can or cannot do. Hi, Shama. How are you?
Hello, hi, how are you? I'm good. Thank you.
Hi. Would you like to please turn on your video? We
Can I
have
just
it.
stay, can I just stay on the voice?
Just let me see you for just a little bit. I like to interact as this is a group, small group also. It's not so much a lecture. It's more I respond, I reflect, I'll interact with you. Like
Are you the only one that's looking at, that's going to see me, or is everyone going to see me?
if you come to Illuminations to an open event, we also see all each other. I believe
Yes, that's correct.
the other day I had somebody in their pajama, and then there was somebody wearing
No, I'm not in my pajamas, but I feel like I'm more comfortable on
You
the-
know, sorry. There is an option where you can hide yourself from the gallery. 1 second. I don't know if you can hear me. So on the, if you right click, there
Yes,
is an option which says hide my
show my
video
video
in
in
gallery
gallery
view.
view. Yeah.
Yeah, you can do that, and then we will not be able to see you.
So I just turn off show my video in gallery view, right?
No, it should be you have to press the option hide my video in gallery view.
I don't have that. I have the opposite. But it's fine. It's
Ah.
okay. I understand. I think I'll try to open my video and see if anyone can see me.
very much. Thank you. Because see, if we were in Illuminations, you would come to the room, right? You are so welcome, Shama. You are so very welcome. Thank you. Because see, if you ask a question, then I can better answer when I see you. I like to really give you personalized
Do
answers.
you see me now, or
Yes, I see you very well.
I don't see myself though. Okay.
Okay, don't worry. You're
Okay,
good.
I don't see me.
All
All
right.
right. Okay.
Basically, the question here is, are our thoughts running you, or are you running your thoughts?
Depends on the thought, honestly.
Yeah, that's basically what we are asking when we want to know more about NLP. So basically, when you look at the way how your thoughts are influencing your states of mind, let's do a little example. And the example is the following. If you turn on the video, I can help you. If you don't turn on the video, I won't be able to help you. So when you say to yourself, I can't do it, it's very hard. I cannot do it, it's very hard. What happens? I can see Komal looks a little down. As a yes, look, I can see Andrea is frowning a little bit and looking a little down. Sonal, what are you aware of as of your facial expressions and your chest?
No.
Are you aware that you are lowering your breathing or that you are changing your facial expressions?
Interesting. No.
So when we say to ourselves, Shama, are you able to participate? Because
Yes.
this is a seminar where we are interacting and we are participating. So
All
when
right.
you yourself, I cannot do it or it's hard.
All right.
So let's say it like several times. If you just say to yourself, I can't do it, it's very hard. I can't do it, it's very hard.
Then
Now,
you're going to believe what you say to yourself. If you say it's going to be easy, it's the right thing to do, you can do it, motivation is talk, then automatically your mindset will automatically become positive.
yeah, hold on. So as you are still saying to yourself, it's hard, I can't do it, would you please see something that's on your table? Maybe it's a pen or a mouse, or maybe it's a pair of glasses. Whatever you see, would you please try to pick it up? What happens? Well, I'm telling you, try to pick it up. I'm not telling you to pick it up. It is affecting our behavior. Can you get it? Are you feeling this? You get this? I want you to have an experience, because of course we say, yes, what I think affects me, but I want you to really think about it more deeply, because see, yes, like Sharma said, when you say to yourself, I can do it, and it's very easy, then of course you experience shifting your moods and you experience shifting your inner stories. So basically, one of the things that help you immensely and tremendously with NLP is to notice that, of course, I don't have to show you this anymore. We have already experienced this. When we think limiting stories, we limit our behavior. We can't do it. When we think positive things, we can do it. So the suggestion in NLP is to maintain a selection and collection of resourceful emotions and states of mind. We learn that we master our emotions and mindsets, and that our mindsets consists of attitudes, assumptions, beliefs, interpretations, and judgments. Whatever happens inside of our thought process, in our brain, is directly linked to what we can or cannot do. So basically, when we bring up negative experiences, when we react out of poor choice, when we criticize ourselves, when we sabotage ourselves, when we are slaves to our inner judgments, is when we will attract negative things, is when we will be subject to circumstances that many times we will think, oh, it's the circumstance, or it's the others, or it's the school I chose, or it's the environment I chose. But really, it has to do with our mindsets. NLP helps you to naturally attract, without effort, money, wealth, key relationships, love, happiness, and success on all levels into your life.
Miss, I have a question. Okay, you say that you don't need money, you don't need um, any tangible things to keep you happy, but this is only for a short period of time. How do you keep it consistent? How do you keep it on an ongoing basis as a more of a habitual thing?
I did not say that we don't need things or money.
Oh, obviously we do. This is a part of life, but like what are some kind of examples that you can give us to keep a positive and open mind, to talk, to keep having good thoughts. What are some examples you can give us?
I have a little bit of a request to you, Shama. I have talked about many things. This is actually a good example, if I may use this for everyone. If you write in your book and you look at things, you study at your computer and you help your child, and you are trying to pay attention here, it will be a little difficult. So that's why I'm asking you, could you please focus completely here? If you focus completely here, you will get your answers. I did not say that we don't need these things. What I'm saying to you is that NLP helps you to create the attitudes and the mindsets to create what it is that you want. Now, that is not meant to be just something in the top of the head. You know, people come to me and say, I want to be a millionaire. Well, that's not something I can help you with. I can help you with creating a mindset that attracts what it is that you want and what it is that you need. So for all of the things that we would like to have more in our lives, we can do it. So what NLP says is everything you want is already inside of you. All the resources you need to create a more happy life, a more resourceful life, all the resources that you need in order to be able to do what you do are already inside of you. So now I want to help you with, I'm a little bit flipping here in my PowerPoint. I would like to help you with, let me just get to another picture here. And help you with the way how we think. So linguistic programming is telling you that there's things that happen inside of the brain. So now, Shama, if you pay attention, you are getting an answer to what it is that you have asked. So how do we attract it? So the way how we attract it has to do with how we think, and the way how we think happens in 5 different channels. One channel is called the visual. It's the pictures that we make inside of our head. Can I see your thumb or your hand? Who is aware of the pictures that you make inside of your head? Not everybody is, but who is aware that you see pictures, and that, I mean, most of us are aware that you have dreams and you see pictures, but who is aware that the pictures in your mind actually are there before you have a behavior? Who is aware of this? Can I see hands? Yes. And then who is aware that your internal dialogue, which in NLP is called audio, and I'm drawing an ear, that the way you talk to yourself It's directly linked to what you can or cannot do. Who is aware of this? Can I see hands? Thank you. Very good, Sonali. Some of us are more aware of us talking to ourselves than others. Komal, are you aware of self-talk or commentary? Are you aware? Nice. And so now there's a few more channels. One is called kinesthetic, and this is the way how we sense things in a tactile way. Then olfactory, and then gustatory. And I expect that this you have already seen in your 5 minutes NLP book, Andrea Leitman. This you have already learned. This is typically the very basic first lesson of NLP that you will find everywhere, and it helps us to understand more the programs upon which we are either successful or not successful. The programs upon which we either experience we are not empowered, or we experience that we have created in our life what we want, that we are happy with what our life is about. So in a way, you could see NLP not only with these 5 channels, but with 18 meta programs, with 14 meta model language patterns, with another 13 Milton model language patterns, with about 15 very powerful intervention techniques, stimulus response exchange patterns, using time, using something that is called a timeline to go into the past, elicits events that were unresourceful, take them out, super imprint them, put another program in. In many, many ways, NLP will give you glorious, amazing visualizations and programs that you can use to move towards what it is that you want. In a way, it helps you, like I chose the picture of this remote control. Can you see it?
Yes.
Yes.
So we can say that NLP is giving you something like a remote control in your hand. But I would like to visualize the remote control to your own mind with hundreds of different buttons. Hundreds of different buttons where you can literally go, okay, I'm not going to watch that in a movie now. I'm going to watch another in a movie. See, I always say, see, I don't watch horror movies. I don't watch TV shows that give me fear. There's already enough fear in this world. There's already enough fear everywhere. So I choose to watch something that gives me joy or pleasure. This TV control that you get in your hand when you learn NLP will give you lots of different versions, strategies, functions, buttons, levers, all kinds of little things that will help you to be more in control of your thoughts, of your inner movies, and it will give you into your hand what you need to put your law of attraction into action. So I have talked a lot now. I would like for you to maybe share what you have thought so far when I was telling my story and giving you a little introduction. What is it? What are some of the thoughts you have, or what are some of the questions you have? I will gladly answer, and I'm here for you to hopefully get all your questions answered tonight. How may I help? So Shama, back to your question. When you understand more how to use your inner pictures, because are you a designer or architect or a visual artist?
No, actually, I'm a banker.
Oh, but I saw you had such a huge book there.
That's like you said, I'm teaching my daughter has an assignment, so I was just multitasking.
So basically,
Sorry?
you learn how to affect your inner movies and inner pictures. You will learn how to use your inner dialogue and your inner commentaries in a way that you can use it in a consistent way.
Can you please give me a scenario or like an example of one?
So
What would you tell yourself, or what kind of questions would you ask yourself?
So for example, today we learned that I can't do it and that I can do it, right?
Yes.
I choose this for the first lesson very often because, see, most of our dialogue is based on that. And you know, at the beginning when somebody told me that, I thought, that is so simple. I mean, of course, everybody knows that. But slowly, day by day, with all my studies, I noticed that when I'm making myself feel bad, when I have a negative mood, when I'm stressed, when I think I need to do too many things, when I'm doing too many things at the same time, and I'm not smiling, I'm not happy, I am having stressful thoughts. I say I can't do it. So basically, there's a very simple way of simply changing the internal dialogue, and it happens by how we already do it all day long. You already do it. Let me give you a little tool. Would you take your right hand and pat yourself on your left shoulder, please? And say, I noticed.
I noticed.
I noticed. And say it with a cheerful voice. Because see,
I noticed.
I noticed.
I noticed. I noticed.
Yeah, because before we notice, we can't change it. And if we not only say to ourselves, I noticed, but we pat ourselves on the shoulder, we do something physical, then the memory can come up even better. So I noticed is one way of managing this I can't do it negative self-talk into more positive self-talk.
Okay, I have another question. For example, you say to yourself that you can't do it, but there's an actual solution. But then there's another instance where you say you can't do it, but there's no solution, things that you can't control. So what would you do in that case? How do you control the thoughts, and how do you control the overthinking that you get when things don't go your way or things just end up to be out of your control?
May I understand, like external circumstances, for example, cultural things,
Exactly.
other people in the family.
Exactly.
Yes. So now, if I cannot change if it's not see, I believe through communication, so much can happen. I believe that
Exactly.
situations where we believe we can't change or we can't communicate, we actually can. See, there's so much more we can communicate. And then there is such better ways how we can communicate. However, back to, let's say I really cannot control it. Well, if I cannot control it, I don't worry about it. I don't even try to do something. I'm going to look at exactly this is the realm or this is the frame that I can do something about it, and I'm going to focus on that. I focus on what is the area that I can do something about it. Could you
Alright.
find it in your circumstance?
Yep.
You cannot, change or control the other person or what they are doing. Then what is it that you could change? The time, the room where you spend your time, how often you interact, where you are. There are so many side aspects that you probably can change, right?
Yes, that's a good thing. That's a good thought. Good way to put it. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions somebody has?
Okay, so if you can suggest a tip for me. So basically, I'm not really a morning person. I'm more like a night person. And of course, now with not much work, the night habits went far late, like till 3 in the night, I'm watching Netflix movies. Sometimes, okay, I'm reading or whatever. So I kind of want to go back at least to sleep by 12. Even if I'm tired, I could still watch movies, play music, read books, or even cook or clean the house in the night. But I can't get up early, which I'm trying to get up by 7 in the morning or 8 in the morning. So any suggestions? Like I managed to do it for 2-3 days, and then again I go back to like the bad late sleeping habits.
I have a curious question. Why do you want to get up at 8?
It's okay from a very physical this thing that I'm getting dark circles also. So I mean at the very first this thing, but it's nice. I can utilize the day better and achieve more things work-wise, errands. Obviously, because it's in the daytime.
What you want to get done?
Sorry?
Are you getting done what you want to get done?
Some things, yes, because once I'm up, yes, I'm energized. I'll do my gym exercises, my cleaning, I'm out and about. But I would like to sleep on regular hours.
Yes, I think your problem is the sleep. And the problem is the regular hours, but I don't know whether I would, I need to talk a little more with you to find out more of the details, but when I'm hearing between the lines of what you are saying, focus on what is most important. The focus would be, how many hours do you think you need?
Okay. 8 hours, yes. Like
Oh, 8
good
hours. Okay, so what is it that you need to do to get 8 hours sleep? Nobody says that it has to happen in the night and that you are up in the early morning. If you can get enough hours in any other way, that's what you need, right?
Yes.
See, if we so often try to do something and then we think that's the right thing, everybody says you have to get up early, maybe not. Let's look at what you want to achieve and how you can best achieve it. Right now, I think you need to sleep more. So how can we achieve this? Then first, does it need to be 8 hours in a piece? Or could you sleep, some people sleep 2-3 hours in the afternoon. Could you sleep sometime here and sometime there?
Yes, I could do that as well.
I tell you, it looks like you are having creative spurges at night. I can only share with you some of the things that I do. I'm much older than you, and I also need 8 hours. And when I go to bed early, I sleep much better and deeper. But I don't want to go to bed early every night. So I do exactly 3 nights a week where I go to bed at 9:30. So I sleep by 10. And that's the 3 nights where I get such a good and deep and wonderful sleep. And the other nights I have meet with my friends, I do special things with my husband, I do projects, I do many things on the other nights, but at least when I get 3 times a week, more than 8 hours, I'm perfect. I'm happy. It works for me. So what I'm saying is maybe some discipline is needed, Sonali, but if you want to do it and you haven't done it, then there's some part in your subconscious that we need to pay attention to. So can you be a little more flexible and see how you can get your sleep done, and you can still also do your creative splurging that seems to happen at night?
Yes. Although you are kind to say creative, I would say sometimes it's just wasting time watching so many Netflix movies or things like that.
That's another
So,
thing. You can say you would actually like, see, this is an interesting, thank you, Sonali. It is a good example for everyone when I'm showing you how to apply NLP. So the way you apply NLP has a lot to do with organizing. You organize thoughts, you organize the way how we put our attitudes and patterns together. So now you are talking about a different thing. Now I'm putting a different frame. Now I say, okay, are you actually saying that maybe what you experience is what is called television or telephone or social media or video addiction?
yes.
You feel
Yeah.
you have no choice, you are very unhappy because it happens to you. You don't, like when I said, is your thought having you, or are you having your thought? Are these games or these videos having you and you feel you don't have them? That's a different thing. Then we need to look at that.
So sometimes, yes, it's like both. And sometimes, you know, your mobile can just, at least for me, it kind of controls you. You're watching Netflix, movies, Facebook, WhatsApp chat, and especially now with the corona, there are so many videos, information, the WhatsApp family groups. So it can be time consuming. So certain days I can waste a lot of time, and then certain days I discipline myself and I just switch off the Wi-Fi and focus on my task.
So how much time would you like to give it if you just consciously tell yourself that's the time I would like to give it?
Okay, for all social media, maybe 1 hour spread throughout the day.
Okay.
Sonali, I have a recommendation. If you have
Yes,
an
please.
iPhone, the apps that you're using and the most used app that you're using, there's a control time. You can give yourself an hour and a half. If you see you're using less than you are because you've created a control time, then it will give, you know, it's a benefit. You should start using it. It's a very good tool for adults and children. You can use it for
Okay.
children as well.
Ah,
You think
interesting.
that would work
Nice.
for you?
It works
Yes.
perfectly for me, yeah, and I use my apps much less than I have to.
It's always good to ask so let me teach again something about NLP communication. So when we tell someone what to do, then the person says yes, but afterwards doesn't do it. It could work, it could not work. It's kind of like a gambling, 50%. So the way
Exactly.
you use
Yeah, true.
greater elegance with NLP, Shama, begin to ask questions. Always ask a question. So there's this possibility. Do you think this could work for you or not? I'm noticing a little hesitation in Sonali. Maybe it could work. She would probably already have found it out if it was just a technical external solution. And technical external solutions can work.
Yes.
I have people come to me with what you say, Sonali, since many, many years. And in fact, there is a word for it. It's called nomophobia. It is when you are addicted to the little machines, when you are addicted to the phone, when you are addicted to the stimuli. Addicted is a heavy word, but let's just use it. It doesn't mean to put anyone down. It just sometimes when we bring something more to the forefront, we can better look at it. So then the app wouldn't work because you can simply turn it back on, right? So the app could work to remind you. If you can use a discipline and do what Sharma says and simply use it to remind you and it works, great. But if it doesn't work, then there is something deeper underneath that is rather emotional. Maybe that flickering, you said Netflix, watching movies, we have to look at what does it give you emotionally, what do these movies give you emotionally, and then if you want to change it, we will have to look at how can, sometimes it's fulfillment, sometimes it's distraction.
Boredom. Always staying at home. And late
So,
at night when the children are asleep, that's the only time you have for yourself.
boredom, but you are telling me you want to sleep more.
Yes.
Correct.
So
Everyone wants to sleep more, but in Ramadan, it's
could be a fabulous thing. It's a little multi-layered, Sonali. You could come to a one-on-one session and I will completely solve it. There's something deeper down that I can address. Or if you choose to join us for the NLP seminar, we can certainly address this. We've already gone quite over time, I believe, here tonight. Now I'm confused because it's, what is the time in Dubai?
6:09.
Oh no, we are good. We are good. We are good. So, did it help you just a little bit, Sonali?
Yes, a lot actually. Yeah, and that advice from Shama also, because I do successfully manage, like sometimes I switch off the Wi-Fi for 24 hours. If I'm out with my friends, I don't check my mobile. If I'm with my family or whatever, I don't check mobile at all. And I don't like post anything. I'm not on Instagram. But sometimes if I do go on reading some sites and some videos and articles and information and about some gossip channels or, you know, these stars and actresses, whatever, it can go on and on and on, and I lose track of time. So I think the advice Shama gave is nice. At least then it will kind of like tell me, okay, get off the phone and go back to whatever you were doing.
But see, Sonali, this only applies when you're on your phone, but then Netflix is on the TV. The TV doesn't have this control time applicable.
No, but
So
at least for the phone, it's a good thing as
yeah,
well.
for the phone, it's amazing.
Me,
It's really, yeah.
It
You should
will
try
help
it.
me.
It
I
will definitely help.
You guys want to find external solutions, but let's come back to the title here for tonight, because we are talking about empower yourself through NLP. And we are going to talk about how NLP can help our communication. So external things can help, but let's focus on what we want to do internally.
So you said in the beginning of this session that you want to say to yourself, I can do it. So I think maybe if you do want to sleep more, say, I'm going to sleep today at 12. Give yourself like a plan that you're going to commit to, a commitment. So if you commit today and you make another plan tomorrow and commit tomorrow, then this will be an ongoing habit, and it will give you more motivation to do more plans and more commitments. It will strengthen your discipline, as Ms. Doris has referred to. And then yes, it's very important for us to apply external factors, because this is a part of life. It's about finding internal and external factors to help us on our. It depends on what works for you.
Yes, and see, the wonderful thing, thank you, Shama. The wonderful thing about NLP is that it is very practically, it's more practical than many esoteric models, and certainly more than psychotherapy. I can tell you more about why I navigated away from psychotherapy to NLP. So NLP basically helps you with all these little triggers inside. It helps you to manage emotions. It helps you to be on top of your emotions. So we would look, if we go deeper in what is probably needed, Sonali, to cover this very successfully and for long term, is to find out, if you want to, find out what is the emotion that this gives you, and then to find out many ways how you can live this emotion more. This would be like a deeper layered answer. So NLP is there to empower yourself, and there is a way how you, can I please introduce to you some ways of how you can continue, and then I can still answer some questions before we complete here today. So I told you at the beginning that this is also a promotional webinar to inform you about the NLP trainings that Illuminations offers with me. So there's an online NLP training on the 8th and 9th of May, Friday and Saturday. It's from 9 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. You get a 1.5 or 2 hour lunch pause to recreate and to do some of the exercises. Unlike today, we will do all the curriculum of NLP, and we will also do exercises. I don't do this in a 1 hour evening webinar because it would take away too much of the attention to give the basics and to also make you get to know me a little more. So as soon as we would have a little more time, I would give you an exercise. For example, when we said, change your state of mind, use your hand, say, I noticed, interrupt the state, select a new state, bring that new state in. I would give you a very clear exercise and then say, okay, Andrea, go with Komal, Sonali, go with Shama, and I would have you practice, do the exercise. When we come back in 15 minutes, and you tell what you have learned. I might say, okay, now we want to study, is the visual stronger in your brain, or is the way you talk to yourself stronger, or whether is the kinesthetic sense stronger? So I'll give you an exercise. You maybe go, and I write it down. It will be on the PowerPoint. It will be in the manual that you receive if you come to the course. And you will do the exercise again with another partner. We will discuss it. You do the exercise, you come back, and then we again discuss it. So basically, it's very interactive, and it will focus on you being able to use the tools in your life. This is my purpose. I'm Dr. Doris, and I'm called the most kinesthetic trainer of all NLP master trainers. And so what you get from me is the direct application into your behavior and into your life. This takes a little time. Of course, it cannot be done in one evening. In one evening, I can even give you only a small taste. You know, when you are at Basket Robbins and there's 48 flavors.
Very nice example.
Yeah.
So that's how this evening is. It just gives you a small tasting spoon of what NLP can do. And please look forward, and whoever is able to invest into this and also join us and take the time away. We typically choose Fridays and Saturdays, as this is the corporate schedule, and people can easiest join. So on this 8th and 9th of May, we have what is called NLP and Communication Excellence. It is a training, and you see 2 evenings, Tuesday and Wednesday from 5:30 to 8:30, which makes 1 day. So it's a 3-day certification training, and it will empower you to understand the verbal and nonverbal aspects that NLP brings into the communication in a very practical, experiential way. It will help you with language patterns that we will practice and learn in a way that they will help you to make questions more precise in a way that you can organize things in your life more thoroughly. Even for what you have shared with us, Sonali, how beautifully, and thank you again. When you learn these meta model questions, you will learn how to ask yourself questions to find what exactly is it that I want? What is the most important thing about this topic that I want? Is it actually the Netflix? Is it the sleep? Is it that I want to do something else? Maybe it is about me doing something that fulfills me more. Maybe I actually need to find my purpose and invest my energy and time into something more meaningful. There's so many things that it could mean and that it could be, but in order to be able to go there and find that, we need to know how to ask ourselves questions, which are also the same questions that if you wish to become a coach with me, and you can become a coach level 1, you can become a coach, a master coach, by studying also level 2 and level 3 with me. So neuro-linguistic programming can help you not only with communication excellence, but also with becoming a master coach with a master coach certification from the Society of NLP and ABNLP certified through me. So any question, and then there's one more step. If you don't want to participate the online training, you can come for one-on-one sessions with me, and mostly in one session, most of what you thought was the problem is already fixed and changed. Or if there is deeper laying fears, traumas, or addictions, I suggest 3 or 4. After the first session, I can tell you whether it's 3 or 5 sessions. Typically, I can successfully cover any deeper laying issue in a maximum of 5 sessions, even addictions. And you can have personal success by enrolling with one-on-one sessions with me. Now, let me give you 3 more pieces of information on the online trainings. So people still have hesitations for online trainings. I would like to help you with the following 3 pieces of information. 1, it costs less. 2, you get a free retake. So if you take the online training as soon as it happens next time at Illuminations, and it looks like the next training will be put on in July, then you can do it in person. And you will also receive the audio recordings right away. We record immediately, and you get the video and audio recordings right after the training, which you don't get in a face-to-face training. Another benefit that people report more and more, because I've actually now already 1 whole month of successful online training experience. People enjoy the comfort of their home. People enjoy that they can chat with each other while they listen. There's a chat box where you can interact with each other. People enjoy that they can learn the way they want. People enjoy they don't have to travel and they are there in their own home. So there's many benefits. Of course, what is missing is the person-to-person contact. That's why we are offering you a free retake as soon as the lockdown is over and we can meet in person again. That's what you can do. Now, any question according to you learning NLP or any of the NLP training opportunities with me and Illumination?